Hola, I'm Emma from Portuguese Language Lessons. Here's a short video to talk you through indirect object pronouns in European Portuguese. Here's a worksheet I'm going to use to talk you through. And a picture here, because pictures can really help us with this. First of all, I'm going to explain in English. Fred gives Maria a ball. Or I could say, Fred gives a ball to Maria. Can you see the picture there? What's happening? Now in this sentence, we've got one action, the verb gives. And we've got three people or things. A person who performs the action, that's the subject, Fred, there. We've got two recipients, the objects. We've got little Maria and a ball here. Okay, so we've got one thing that's in direct contact with the subject at some point. This is called the direct object, the ball, usually a thing now. Then we've got one person who indirectly receives something, the indirect object, Maria, and it's often preceded with two or four. See in the second version of the sentence above, I've got two, and this is usually a person, okay? Indirect, because it could be that they don't have any contact. Fred could be putting the ball in the post or throwing it to Maria. So let's color code to help us. Fred gives Maria a ball. Fred gives a ball to Maria. We can replace the words for all the people and things in the sentence with pronouns to avoid repetition when we're talking or writing. I, you, him, her, it. So in English, replacing two of the three. He gives her a ball. He gives it to Maria. He is a subject pronoun before the verb. It is the direct object pronoun, the thing that is directly in contact between the two. And to her, her, indirect object pronoun. Notice it's often preceded with to, so that makes it easy to recognize. And again, often a person. Now, in English, these direct and indirect object pronouns are always the same. So we don't really need to distinguish between them. But in Portuguese, they are the same if you're saying me or you and we, but they're very different when you're dealing with words like him, her, it, them, which we very often are talking about. So, in Portuguese, we'd say, o Fred dá a Maria uma bola. And so substituting the words Fred and Maria, ele dá-lhe uma bola, ele dá a Maria. Okay, so we're coming across now this lovely word, lia, which is the indirect object pronoun. So, let's look here at this table, which might help you. We've got the various subject pronouns. I, you, he, she, you, sir, madam, eu, you, ele, ela, você, o senhor, a senhora. We're just talking about the singular ones here. The direct object pronoun, the things that are being given, could be me, te, and then u or a, according to whether it was masculine or feminine. But what we're talking about here are the indirect object pronouns. So again, we've got me and te from saying to me, for me, to you, for you, but lia for all the others. We don't change masculine and feminine here. Okay. Now remember, object pronouns are always right next to verbs, normally attached at the end with a hyphen, but they move before if you've got a trigger word before the verb, like now, como, já, etc. Now, common verbs that use these object pronouns and think these can be followed by something to someone. Escrever, dizer, fazer uma pergunta, oferecer, emprestar, servir, dar. Okay. And then we've got some more that are not so clear. Telefonar, or ligar, means the same, to call. Perguntar, comprar, to buy. Pedir, to ask for. Ficar bem, when it means to suit. Apetecer, which means to feel like, be appetized by. It's a funny verb. It's always in the third person, singular or plural. It or they appetize to me or you. Let's look at some examples. That's always the best. O José vai telefonar-me hoje à noite. José is going to phone me tonight. Dou-te o livro depois da escola. I'll give you the book after school. Eles mandam-lhe a informação. So, replacing Pedro, instead of saying mandam ao Pedro, mandam-lhe, send to him. O vestido fica-lhe bem. Could be replacing fica a Sarah bem. Suits Sarah, suits her well. O meu pai empresta-nos o carro. My father will lend us the car. Escrevo-lhe sobre o problema. Could be replacing escrevo ao senhor. So replacing the senhora becomes lhe. Now where we see the pronoun before. Não lhe telefone amanhã. So this could be não telefone ao João. So I won't phone João, I won't phone him. Quando é que me dá a revista? When is it that you'll give me the magazine? Por que que nos mandam a conta? Why is it that they send us the bill? Now, notice, and be careful here, the form of the verb, vai telefonar do mandam, reflects who performs the action, the doer. Okay, so that ending, that form, is all about who does it. The object pronoun, this me, te, lhe, reflects who receives the action or object. So it does not match the verbal form. We can very often omit subject pronoun, the doer, because the end of the word, the verb, makes it clear who is performing the action. However, we cannot omit the object pronoun, as without it we have no other clues as to who the object is. Okay, and therefore also the object pronoun does not usually match the form of the verb, the subject pronoun, unlike the reflexive verbs. Okay, so there you go. Indirect object pronouns, that's their technical name. Me, te, and lhe in European Portuguese. Okay, ciao ciao!